What's up, everybody? Today we got Hannah Walden here, a contestant from Netflix show Baking Impossible. We're about to dive right in. Can you tell us about the show a little bit?
Hi, my name is Hannah Walden, and I was a contestant on Netflix's Baking Impossible. The premise of the show is you take one engineer and one baker and you put them together in teams of baconeers, and you create things out of food that should definitely not be made out of food. So, an example of that would be an edible boat that floats, a mini golf course, like a full size car, like things like that. I was an engineer on my team, and I was paired with a baker, and her name is Nina, and she's a very lovely person. Um, a little bit of background about me. I am 22 years old. I am currently studying mechanical engineering at Georgia Southern University. I've been building things since like middle school with my dad. Anything from like basic woodworking to like really complex electronics elements, like combining the two of those. A really good example is for this holiday season, we constructed these like giant dinosaurs to be in the front yard as like our decor. So one of them is a 12-foot tall T-Rex. His name is Carl. And the other one is a 13-foot long Triceratops, and her name is Trixie. And that's a lot of fun stuff. We build a lot of different electronics to like implement into different woodworking elements. If you watch the show, they highlight my favorite project, which is called the Techno Desk. It is a desk that has a weather radio, it has your Wi-Fi router, it has a sensor that lets you know that your mail has arrived to your house. There's wall outlets. There's a shredder to shred any like mail that comes to your house that you don't want. Like just a bunch of things together in a desk. But that's my background. I took a semester off of school. I was kind of taking a class while we were shooting, and I shot a Netflix show. They reached out to me in February of 2020. I didn't know it was Netflix, but they reached out and they asked, they were like, do you think you could like do like engineering with cake? And I was like, yeah, that seems doable, sure. And I just had a series of interviews. And then at the end, when they selected me for the project, they said it was a Netflix production. And then I was flown out to Los Angeles and shot a show. And now the show is out. The full season is out. You can watch it on Netflix. And I hope you enjoy it.
I think that's pretty cool right there. Let me ask you a question. What was the most challenging moment on the show that you faced?
So, the most challenging moment on the show for me was in episode 2 with the robots. So, with the robot, I had all of these like plans of attack to like make it like work and make it like look cool and do things. And you think about it like a tree. You have like the trunk of the tree, and then you have all these different like branches, and all the branches were like my plans of attack. So if one of them failed, no worries. I have like 7 more that I can choose from. It's fine. But what ended up failing was the trunk, and that was really hard to pivot from. So having to figure out how to fix it and make it work while also being under a super tight time crunch, and just delaying Nina's ability to decorate just really sucked. It was really, really hard. And Nina was super sweet the whole time. She was like, just fix it, you've got it, like we can do this, let's go. And I was trying so hard, and like I pivoted so many times, and it just didn't turn out the way that we had wanted it to. And that was really hard, not just because like I was letting myself down, but I was also letting Nina down, and that just hurt my heart a lot. But it's okay. We're still friends. We're still cool. The hard moment has passed, and I've learned a lot from it.
Yeah, I actually seen that episode, and I think you handled that really well. So what's some of your plans after you finish school?
So my plans after school, the big dream is I would love to design roller coasters, and I will take any path that will take me there. So I just really love theme parks. I love amusement parks. I know like some of the more popular ones are like Disney and Universal, but I'm happy to build, design, ride roller coasters from anywhere. I just think they're so fun. Um, and I was actually able to speak to like a current Imagineer. I was like, those are the engineers at Disney who designed the rides and like attractions and stuff. And I asked him how he got his job, and he gave me some advice. And something that he told me is that, and I didn't think about this, but it makes perfect sense. Is the theme park industry really revolves around the economy. So if the economy is doing really well, then there's going to be a lot more Imagineers. But if the economy is doing not so well, there's going to be less. So
Oh,
if you
nice.
want to design
Nice.
roller coasters and you also want job security, you need to be somebody who is valuable to these companies. So a way that he told me is to be like an in-house expert. So the current plan is to become an in-house expert at some roller coaster place, whether that be Disney, whether it be Universal, whether it be like any other place. I know those are the big ones. I'm not picky. I just want to make them. Um, I'm trying to figure out what that is. Uh, I still have like another year and a half left of school, so I have some time to kind of figure that out. Um, but whatever it may be, I'm just would love to end up at roller coasters.
Hey, I think that's a pretty cool career to even have. How did you even find an interest in engineering?
So, how I started finding an interest in engineering, I didn't know it was engineering. I was just helping my dad build stuff. A little bit of background on my dad. In the 70s, like when he was growing up, he flew model rockets, as most kids did. And in his words, model rocketry taught him that he could build anything he wanted. Um, he used to have a programming job from like the late 90s to like the mid 2000s. Like that's what he did. Well, in 2008, the company he was working for got bought up and he needed to find another job. He ended up finding like a government job nearby. And he went from working like 70 to 80 hours a week to a strict 40, no overtime. This is what you're doing, and like that's it. So he had all of this like extra energy and extra time, and he started like doing stuff around the house, like building different projects and stuff, and like like usual stuff, like, oh, you gotta fix the fence, you gotta like build a shed, like those sorts of things. But then he started getting creative. The first project was this hole in the living room wall, and it's like a cave. It's like 6 inches deep, and you can put a TV in it. And the whole premise of that is the TV fits completely in the hole, whether it be like flush, whether it be like a little bit shy, but the hole can be closed up. And he got a 30-inch gate actuator or gate opener and created this really lightweight picture frame that will lower in front of the TV and then rise above it so you can watch it. Um, I started helping him with that. It was mostly like, oh, can you hand me this tool or that tool or hold the flashlight? Like normal how a kid helps. I was like fourth or fifth grade. Um, well, when it was done, the picture frame like bounced really, really bad. So like you have the TV here, there's the picture frame, it would just bounce and we're afraid it's gonna fall off. And I suggested that we put like oil or something on the wire on the pulleys to make it smooth, and it worked. So my dad realized that like not only do I really like this stuff, I understand it. So I started helping a lot more with the projects, and as I got older, the projects got more and more complex. And I just love doing it. It's so fun to like be met with a problem and then come up with some sort of a solution, and then just like the trial and error of it. So the problem of you have people over, and even if the TV is not on, people will just stare at the TV because that's what you do. Boom, you have the picture frame in front of it. The problem of there's mail all over the house, put it in the techno desk. The Wi-Fi router is difficult to turn off because you have to like find the plug or whatever. Put an emergency stop button on it. Just like that's the mindset. There is a problem. Let's find a fun way to solve the problem. And it was just really fun. So we're hanging out with friends and stuff, and it came time for me to kind of pick like what am I going to do in college? I don't know. Um, and one of our friends is an engineer, and he was like, I think you're an engineer, and I was like, all right, let's do that then. Um, and now like this creative passion like has a name and has like a direction, and it's so cool because getting to meet other like creative engineering types like is so fun. It's like how iron sharpens iron. Like you have a good idea and I have a good idea, and you put the ideas together and you're able to figure out new things. Or like whenever this is the worst part of working on a project is like you have been working on it for so long and you've come up with every possible way to solve it that you can think of. You talk to someone else and they come up with a solution that is like totally out of the box, out of scope from what you were even looking at, and it works. I love that because I will get really bad tunnel vision and like I can't see beyond what has already been done. But then someone else comes in and all of a sudden tunnel vision is gone. Like my horizons are opened. And it's lovely. It is so fun. I love getting to work collaboratively with creative people. It's because they have so much different experiences that I have, and they've worked on different projects that I have, and we can just collaborate. Like they can help me and I can help them. And that's like the best thing ever.
That's pretty amazing right there. So before I let you go, I gotta ask you a question. What are your views on cancel culture?
So my views on cancel culture, I don't know. Like it's a complex issue. Like it's not just like, yeah, I hate it or like, yeah, I agree with it. Cuz like there's instances where I feel like it is useful. Like I'm kind of aware of like stuff that goes on YouTube, like different YouTube things. So I remember like the bi sister scandal was just really big, and it has continued to be big. And I think there's elements of that where like you might have a problematic person and it comes to light and then everyone just kind of boycotts them, but it doesn't stick. So the problematic person can like come back after a few months and then everything's cool again. And that I feel like is an issue because if someone is like problematic, they should probably stay away. But also, sometimes cancel culture will highlight someone who is not problematic, and then the reverse effect happens where people do stay and like boycott them, and it's just like I don't know, like it's tricky because it's not like not every situation in the world is like an us versus them sort of scenario. Like sometimes it's like you were wrong in this instance and but you were right in that instance. Like people it's not like it's not like someone is all bad or someone is all good. Like you can agree and disagree on different things, and I guess it's up to you to figure out where that line is. um I don't know. it's it's just so complex. It's not something that I think about very often. I usually just kind of see it and just kind of move on.
I definitely can agree with you on that. Thank you for coming on the show again too. And oh yeah, before you go, can you just let people know where they can find you at on social media?
Well, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Like this was so wonderful. You can follow me on YouTube. It's called Atomic Dairy. Um, the name does not mean anything. We don't own cows. We have nothing to do with cows. It's just like we went to like maker fairs and maker spaces. And you would have all these like booths of woodworkers, and it's like Jim's wood shop, Bob's wood shed, and it's like man's name wood. And we have a wood shop, like me and my dad have a wood shop, but we wanted to have a name that was completely different than the other guys. So that way people would kind of be like, what's going on over there? So
Yeah,
again, it is Atomic Dairy. You can see a lot of the projects that I've made there. It's a fun time. It's wholesome. You can also follow me on Instagram. Also, like Atomic Dairy Maker is the YouTube's Instagram, and then my personal Instagram is Hannah K Walden. Feel free to follow me if you would like. If not, it's okay. But thank you so much again for having me. This is such a joy.